Welcome to today's lesson, shooting mechanics for basketball. Let's get it going. Materials, you'll need a basketball, a hoop, and a few objects that you can put onto the ground that you don't mind getting stepped on, like some shoes or cones. Anything works really.
You will also be provided with a scorecard and a pencil to be used later in the lesson.
Alright, it's time to warm up. For basketball, I like to jog for a few minutes before I get into my dynamic stretches. So let's quickly review some of the dribbling skills that we learned in previous lessons. When we dribble, we want to keep our dribble nice and low. Some of the moves that we learned were through the legs, behind the back, and a spin move. So while we're jogging with the basketball along the outside of the court, going clockwise, I want you to work on doing one of those moves when you get to each corner. So there are 4 different moves you can do: crossover, behind the back, through the legs, and spin move. Remember keeping your crossovers nice and low. I want you to go around the perimeter of the court working on your non-dominant hand. For me, that's my left hand. So every time I get to a corner, I'll do a move. Let me show you what that looks like. So I'm dribbling around the perimeter here with my non-dominant hand. For me, that's my left hand. As I get to the corner, I'm going to do a move and then continue on dribbling on the sideline with my left hand. Remember, when we do a move, we want to bend over a little bit, get a little bit low to the ground, make it harder for the opponents to steal it. So I'm dribbling. So after a few minutes of that, you should be nice and warm, ready to take on the day. Next, we'll do dynamic stretches. Please check out my dynamic stretches video for more instruction. Dynamic stretches are done. Next on the list, I like to do sport-specific exercises or stretches. The first one that we'll do, without the ball, are fingertip push-ups. So we're on our fingertips, all 10 points. If you can't do any push-ups at all, that's fine. You can just work on getting into this position with our back nice and flat. And if you can't do that, you can get on your knees and press down like this. So the goal again is to get 3 to 10. So let's go ahead and get 3 to 10. Making sure our back is straight, taking your time. One of the most common injuries in basketball are injuries to the knees. So here we have what I call single leg drops. We're going to start up nice and tall, and we're going to drop to one leg, stick the landing, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then reset. So these are really good for building stability in our knees. So start up tall, down, try to stick the landing and don't let the other leg hit. We're going to start with 5 on our right side, and then we'll do 5 on our left. So as you go down, you should be able to hear your foot hit the ground a little bit. So we're up nice and tall. You should be able to hear that sound. Don't make it too loud. We still want to stay light on our feet. You should be able to hear it very softly. Alright, now you should be pretty warmed up and ready for more slightly explosive exercises. The first one that we'll do are Super Mario jumps. Think big skip into a small skip, big skip, small skip, big skip, small skip. When we jump, let's say we're jumping off of our left leg, we're also going to land on our left leg. So first, our big skip, land, small skip. Now we're going back to our single leg drops, except this time we're not going to stick the landing on our right leg. We're going to jump to our left and then stick the landing. So it'll look like this. If we're dropping to our right, drop, and we'll go to the left and stick the landing here. So in fast motion, it looks like this. Alright, last one we'll do before we get into our shooting mechanics. We're going to go into a quarter squat and then just rise up on our toes. Once you get used to the motion, you can do it more quickly. The goal is to do it pretty much as quickly as you can while in control. Remember, we're not jumping, just going down quickly and up on our toes. Alright, we are ready to get into our shooting mechanics. Now, there is no one right way to shoot a basketball, but there are several key factors that a lot of players use to keep their shots consistent and reliable. So what I want you to remember are 4 things. We can spell that with BEEF, B-E-E-F. The first one is balance. So we want to find a good balance. If you're a right-handed shooter, put your right foot in front of your left. My feet are about shoulder width apart, and my left leg is about 6 inches or 15 centimeters behind my right leg. We'll get into a nice quarter squat. If this feels comfortable for you, great. If you need to, other players like to angle their feet to the side. So I'm a right-handed shooter, so I'm going to angle my feet to the left. Players like Steph Curry shoot this way. Whatever is comfortable for you, as long as you get a good balance, that's good. The second thing, the first E, we want our elbow tucked into our body. So a lot of beginners, they make the mistake of getting their elbow out as they shoot. We want to tuck it in close to our body so that everything is lined up nice and straight. The second E, our eyes. We want to be looking and focusing at the rim. Personally, I like to focus right at the front of the rim. I think that gives me the best chance to make a shot. And the F, you'll hear people say it stands for follow through, but what I want you to think of it is fluid motion. A lot of players, the second biggest mistake I see, they bring the ball up here and then they shoot it. We want to have one fluid motion, so everything goes at the same time, and we get it up and over the basket, and then you can follow through. So what I want you to do with your shooting hand, line the ball up so that the seams are nice and horizontal. We're going to put our hand right on top. This will allow us to get a good visual of backspin, and when we get backspin, we get us a better chance at making the shot, so it gets a nice soft bounce on the rim. Your left hand is going to go on the side of the ball. We don't want our left hand involved with the shot at all, so if you're a beginner, I highly recommend, just to get into the habit of not using your left hand, tuck your thumb into your index finger so that we don't get our thumb involved in the shot. So go ahead, remember beef, B-E-E-F, so get a nice balance, elbow tucked in, and eyes looking at the basket, and then one fluid motion. And the last thing I want you to remember is to get the ball up high so that we're not shooting from our chest. We want to shoot above our shooting eye. For me, that's my right eye.
So you'll be given a scorecard with 9 holes. The par for this golf course is 18. So for beginners, that means shooting at 50%. For each of the holes, the first 3 are 1 meter from the basket. They all have a par of 1. The second 3, holes 4, 5, and 6, are 2.5 meters from the basket. And holes 7, 8, and 9 have a 3 par, and they are approximately 4 meters from the basket. So as you take a shot from each hole, you'll record how many attempts it took to make the shot. Go to a maximum of 4. So if it takes you 5 attempts to make a shot, go ahead and put a 4 for that hole. So with your scorecard in hand and a pen or pencil, you're going to go to each of the holes. We'll start at the first 3. So the first inside holes are 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't matter which one you start out because they're all at the same distance. For holes 1, 4, and 7, you will give your partner feedback. So we're taking turns going to each hole. On holes 1, 4, and 7, you'll tell your partner one thing that they did well, and then one thing that they need to work a little bit more on. And try your best to give them a fix. For example, if I shoot a shot like this, Colton might tell me, hey, make sure you're using only one hand to shoot. You can fix that by putting your guide hand on the side of the ball. So, oh, thanks, Colton. Yeah. So go to each hole, give your feedback on the back of your card. All right, you want to go first? You can start any of those.
Oh, these are all the same. Yeah.
Nice follow through, good balance, nice tucked in elbow. You could work a little more on your balance. Your feet were kind of close together. I don't know if that's helpful for you. Maybe you can get a better stance or a better base.
Yeah, stronger base. Yeah, so I'm not falling over.
That'll help in a game too when you're getting guarded and someone might give you a little bump.
Yeah.
So you got par 1?
Par 1.
So you can write it on your card. Let's do it. Keep track of your points. I'll start here.
Par 1.
You can go ahead and critique me.
Yeah.
All right. What should I do?
Alright. So I'll say it was a good shot. Nice shot. You kind of hitched it. at
Hitched
the
it?
top. You kind of
Yeah.
like, and it wasn't one fluid motion.
Okay.
Um,
So all in the same motion. up beating me. He got a score of 11 out of 9, so he's almost at expert level. Expert level is making every single shot without missing. So make sure you record all 9 holes, and make sure you write the feedback on the back for holes 1, 4, and 7. All right, Colton, let me ask you a question. What were the 4 things that we had for acronym BEEF?
So B is for balance. That's like getting your feet squared up and just a solid base. Quarter squat, right?
Quarter squat, yeah.
And E is for, first one is elbow. You want to always have your elbow tucked in when you're shooting, and make sure it's like straight lined up. And then E is for eyes. You want to be looking at the rim the whole time you're shooting.
Yeah, a lot of beginners, they'll dribble looking down, then they'll quickly look up and try to shoot. Make sure you're focused on the hoop first with your eyes up.
Yep.
And the last one, F?
And then F is for follow through. So you always want to, fluid motion. One single fluid motion.
Also
too.
follow through though.
So you want to do both. You want to make sure you have a good follow through at all times. You don't want to like let go quick or anything like that. But but the focus of it, the bigger one that we want is fluid motion. You want to not have like a hitch in your shot. You want to be all one in rhythm.
Perfect. To finish up our basketball lesson, we'll do a muscular endurance exercise, a plyometric exercise, and a strength exercise. So for our muscular endurance, we'll have a jump rope, go for 1 minute with 2 feet. After 1 minute, you'll go off of one leg. Start with your right foot for 30 seconds, and then go left foot 30 seconds. If you don't have a jump rope, no problem. You can just do it in place. For our plyometric exercise, we'll do single leg hops, starting with our right foot, driving our left knee up and swinging our arms. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Come back on the left foot. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. Do 3 sets of 5. Take as much time as you need in between sets. For our last exercise, our strength exercise, we'll do reverse Nordics. You can use soft grass, or you can use a exercise mat or a yoga mat. So when you do these, make sure your toes are pointed back straight. We're not like this, we're pointed back straight. And all we're doing is going back as far as we can. If this is as far as you can go, then that's okay. If you can, go all the way and back up. That's 1. Whoa, can you get back up? Well, then that might be too far. So you can just go this far and then back up. Do 3 sets of 5. Take as much time as you need in between sets.